Danielle joins us now. It'll stay windy, but it will also stay warm as well.
Yeah. We are looking, you look at us compared to Eastern Canada, and we're getting this mild weather, a couple degrees above normal. Well, out east, they're dealing with frigid conditions. So we're doing okay temperature-wise. Condition-wise, when it comes to wind in some communities and snow in others and zero visibility, well, that's a bit of a different story, of course. When we just look at wind gusts today so far, 50 kilometers per hour was the maximum gust in Calgary, 44 for Pincher Creek, close to 40 in Lethbridge, and close to 70 for Medicine Hat, along with snow. So zero visibility at times in the Medicine Hat area, especially areas south of Medicine Hat. At this point in Calgary, we are at +1. The winds are relatively calm at the airport anyway. And when you look at Big Four Motors, Calgary's original Jeep stored more in Tazal Park, also sitting at +1 right now. So mild temperatures, a daytime high normal for this time of year is -2, -3. So we're above that. Tomorrow we're looking at a high of +3. We're looking at gusts at 50 kilometers per hour continuing. And we will get warmer than this. There's some warm weather in that longer range forecast. I'll show you that coming up, Ian.
Local group. Okay, Danielle joins us once again with a look at our weather. Now, looking long term, it's going to warm up so much so that perhaps those outdoor hockey rinks might melt a bit?
We'll get some good melting, yes, because by the end of this weekend, so Sunday and through early next week, it will be significantly warmer than what we've been having. You'll notice that. I'm going to be conservative on my forecast, but I'll show you the minimum of what you can expect. Okay, Skywatch weather camera. Pretty nice day in Calgary today. But yes, gusty, gusts up to 50 kilometers per hour. So it was a gusty day today. We had some sunshine. We also had some cloudy periods. And we got up to a high of 2 degrees in Calgary. Now we're sitting at 0, so things are starting to cool off for the day. And it will cool off pretty quickly this evening. So we'll quickly be down to -5 for the evening hours. However, we won't get that cold overnight. And the winds will kick back in. Tonight, while we're sleeping, you'll hear that once again, 50 kilometers per hour. So that will start to knock the temperatures up for the morning. So by morning, we might even be above that freezing mark at 8 a.m. So we'll start to rise while we're sleeping, temperature-wise, but we'll drop pretty quickly this evening in Calgary. -4 is the temperature right now, Medicine Hat, -2 in Lethbridge and in Pincher Creek. When we talk about Eastern Canada getting that frigid air, you can see that here on the map, the jet stream, all the way down by the Gulf states. So they're even seeing freezing temperatures where they're not used to seeing freezing temperatures. And for us, we've been catching the edge of this ridge of high pressure. This ridge of high pressure, this one anyway, will build its way in by Sunday and in through early next week. That's going to knock our temperatures up pretty good. Maybe not plus double digits, but close to it is the possibility with this next ridge of high pressure for us. Okay, we've had a decent amount of snow that was very consistent in the southeast corner, especially south of Medicine Hat. That has now since died out, but we have this other wave that's moving on in, and that will be moving in later in the day tomorrow. So I'm going to give you the timeline here. For the rest of this evening, it looks quiet everywhere, just gusty at times up to 50 kilometers per hour. By the time we get into the morning hours, the clouds you can see increasing throughout the southern part of the province, and then that snow starts to make its way in. So late day, especially closer to those supper hours, Calgary, we could see a couple bursts of snow, which means we could see anywhere from 1, possibly 2 centimeters of snow. We likely won't see that much in most communities, but we do have the possibility for certainly a dusting of snow. This will intensify and be more consistent in that far southeast corner once again. So they could pick up south of Medicine Hat 5 centimeters from this. So just to give you that indication here, the snow tomorrow night into early Friday morning. Again, this is a bit of a high estimation for Calgary at 3 centimeters. We're likely looking at 1, maybe 2 centimeters. And then we'll see those 3 to 5 centimeters in the Medicine Hat area, with south of Medicine Hat seeing the most. Okay, looking at that 5-day forecast, 3 degrees for tomorrow. Again, gusts 50 kilometers per hour, snow starting late in the day. Still gusty, in fact, gustier on Friday, 65 kilometers per hour and just a high of 0. But when you look at Sunday, at least 7 degrees, and Monday to kick off next week, 9.
It's Wednesday, right?
It's Wednesday, windy Wednesday.
Windy Wednesday, but we can talk about the weekend.
Yes, we can talk about
It's not too early to talk about.
No, and I make sure to put the 5-day forecast in so that longer one in for you when there's those warmer days.
I like that.
Ahead
Thank
to
you.
show you. Yeah, I feel like everyone needs a little warm up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, currently we are sitting at the freezing mark. Our high was 2 today. Normal is -2, so fairly close to normal, but above it by a couple of degrees. And we will be above normal for the rest of this week, and as you can see, for next week as well, especially to kick it off. A high of 3 for tomorrow. It will be gusty out of the west. By tomorrow night, we could see a couple snowflakes, which could amount to 1 to 2 centimeters, Ian.
Let's bring Danielle in now. Ooh, a hot wonton soup would be nice tonight. It's chilly out there.
Yeah, at this point, though, the winds are calm, which is very nice. It's a nice break from the winds, although this is a short-term break from the wind because the wind will be the story for the next couple of days. This wind, however, will make it mild for us tomorrow morning. So we haven't had a lot of mild starts. It's been cold in the morning hours, but we're going to drop off fast for this evening. We're at -1 right now. The winds at this point relatively calm. For tomorrow morning, though, to kick off the day, we do have the possibility of some flurries in the overnight hours. Tomorrow morning to kick off the day, we'll be at +2, and by the afternoon, +3 again. It will be gusty out of the west at 50 kilometers per hour. More details coming up, Tara.
Well, it's nice that that wind has died down because it has a bite.
It sure does, and at least we're looking at winds out of the west for tomorrow, so that's a less cold wind, and that will help keep temperatures warm. Really, wind is going to be the story, wind with a bite, for the next couple of days, and I'll show you that in just a moment here. But first, temperatures. The key thing to know is that temperatures are going to drop fast through this evening, but they're going to warm up in the early morning hours, so we'll have a mild start. By about 8 a.m., it'll be just above the freezing mark when off to work and school, so that's a bit of a relief there. -1 is the current temperature in Calgary, -6 in Lethbridge, -4 in Pincher Creek, and -10 in Milk River. Okay, so quite a range of temperatures overall in southern Alberta. So again, that frigid air off to the east of us, we're catching the edge of this ridge of high pressure now, and then this one's going to build in, and this one's going to be a bit stronger. So it could knock us in to the plus double digits early next week. Likely, though, it will be a little lower than that, but it'll be warmer than it is now, that's for sure. When you look at what's going on satellite and radar, we've had a wave of snow that pushed through, especially areas to the southeast. And we're looking at another wave on the way. We're going to get some of this in Calgary. In fact, 1 to 2 centimeters possible in Calgary from this. So overnight tonight, clouds increasing. And in the morning hours, we're just looking at mainly cloudy skies. Yes, it will be gusty out there. And then by later in the day, closer to those supper hours, we have the potential of getting some flurries in Calgary again, 1 to 2 centimeters possible. But it will be a little more consistent again in that southeast corner, so we could see higher totals there, about 5 centimeters before it's all said and done. Medicine Hat 3 centimeters, south of Medicine Hat 5 centimeters from this next wave again. This is tomorrow night. It should clear out fairly fast, especially from Calgary. That 3 centimeters is a bit of a high estimation. We're looking at anywhere from 1 to 2 centimeters. A high of 3 for tomorrow. Again, that late day snow. Again, gusty throughout the day. Even gustier on Friday with gusts out of the northwest at 65 kilometers per hour. So be prepared for a couple of windy days, but our temperatures will start to climb as that next ridge of high pressure builds in. +1 for Saturday, 7 for Sunday, and at least 9 by Monday of next week. Tara.
Thank you, Danielle.
Oh, right. Here's your Skywatch weather camera, and the winds are fairly calm in Calgary. Temperatures are fairly mild in Calgary. It's a nice evening out there. Now, the winds are going to pick up tonight, especially in those early morning hours, those overnight hours, but that's going to knock the temperatures up because it will be wind out of the west. And so that means a mild start to tomorrow. So today's high was 2 degrees. That's how we should start tomorrow at 8 a.m. when you're off to work and school. So not bad. So while we're getting these somewhat milder temperatures off to the west, well, off to the east, they're continually getting that cooler air, as you can see here. These are daytime highs, with the wind chill, though, of course, much colder, and especially in those overnight and early morning hours. Some areas still getting those wind chills close to -40, even -50. In some small localized areas way north. Okay, today's high again to currently we are sitting at -1. So temperatures are dropping fast for the evening. We will continue to do that down to -5. But again, we're going to pick up in those early morning hours. Radar and satellite, you can see this next wave of snow that will make its way in. We'll see a little bit of that in Calgary even. In fact, we could get a centimeter or 2 in Calgary. That's tomorrow night. All right, Salmon Arm, Kelowna, Kamloops will see some snow from this wave. Rocky Mountain House, Slave Lake, Fort McMurray, even Edmonton could see a little bit as well. For us here in Olds and Calgary, it will be later in the day, so starting closer to those supper hours, and it will be short-lived. It will last longer, though, for Brooks, Medicine Hat, Milk River. These areas will likely see it consistently even in through Friday, which is why we can see 5 centimeters in some areas south of Medicine Hat. Lethbridge, Pincher Creek, gusts up to 80 kilometers per hour. And check this out, we warm up even further, so 7 degrees at least on Sunday and up to at least 9 on Monday to kick off next week, Tara.
I think he looked pretty good for a guy who's not a big skater.
Never skated on the ice. That's
good for him.
Pretty brave too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's talk about ice, shall we? We're going to have a lot of melting, especially by the late weekend and early next week. Until we get there, reasonable temperatures, 3 degrees is our high for tomorrow. It will be gusty out of the west at 50 kilometers per hour. So that means even a mild start to the day. But late in the day tomorrow, closer to those supper hours, some snow, anywhere from, well, 0 in some communities, but up to 2 centimeters of snow in others. Okay, at the freezing mark for Friday, gusts northwest 65 kilometers per hour. The next couple days gusty, but by Sunday, 7 degrees and then 9 by Monday, believe it or not. So at least we may even get warmer than that, but I'm being conservative with my temperatures. Okay, weather window brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style budget in Alberta's climate. And Ron Jeffrey says, always look up. Look at these clouds. Isn't that cool?
That's a cool looking shot. Wow. Well, before we let you go, just another reminder, today is Bell Let's Talk Day. Bell is offering a national text to donate campaign. Have a terrific evening, and we'll see you again tomorrow.